Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the November meeting of the Economic Development and Planning Committee. First thing on the agenda, discussion. Does anyone have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, move on to the resolutions. First resolution is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, 2024-2025 Snowmobile Trails Grant and Aid Program. I'll sponsor. Need a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Second resolution is a resolution accepting grant for Connect All Regional and Local Assistance Program Working Capital, New York State Connect All Office, amending the 2024 operating budget. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Headwell and Kelly. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. One thing under other doesn't really pertain to this committee, but next week will be picture night, so wear your good clothes. What time are we doing it?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Okay.
5:30.
STU, Maria.
Anything else under other? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
MKMK.
Okay, call the Physical Services Committee to order. I was waiting for your nod, Brian. Okay. Floor is open to discussion. I don't hear any, so I don't see any, so I'll go right to the first resolution. A resolution authorizing implementation and funding costs of replacement of the Schweitzer Hill culvert, Town of Mohawk.
I'll sponsor.
Okay. Legislator Howell, Legislator Pell. All those in favor?
Discussion.
Do you want to discuss?
Chair, I asked Bill, the highway superintendent for the town of Mohawk, to come and just speak a little bit on this resolution, to see what his take is and see if this is a direction that he feels that the town. Bill?
Yep. Bill Holwick, the highway superintendent for the town of Mohawk. I wrote a couple things down. Our town road, Old Johnstown Road, is taking all the traffic from Switzer Hill. It's really not designed for the traffic it's getting. The upper part is narrow. We widened the bottom part 6 inches on either side to accommodate some of the traffic. I'm hoping to widen the upper part next year, 6 inches on either side. There's multiple accidents on it because of the huge amount of traffic now. I spoke to the fire chief before I came here, and they've responded to a lot more accidents on Old Johnstown Road. Plus the fire protection is important. There's an accident on Old Johnstown Road. All the traffic is diverted to 30A, and 30A is already busy. So a lot of times in a bad accident, they have to close the road. I've had trucks in the middle of the hill above the school stall there because the GPS takes them that way for hours in the winter, just standing there. Guy doesn't speak English. He doesn't know what to do, can't back up. So the road's closed. So now we're not really in the highway business, we're not in the business of closing roads, especially major arteries through town. And that is a major artery. So I'd really like to see it open. My men would like to see it open. We're plowing a dead end right now. Since you have a grant through Bridge and Culver, New York, it's a perfect opportunity to take advantage of the funding. Yeah, you're gonna have to kick some money in, but we're always kicking money in. So I think it's important to reopen it. There's people that are against it, that are living on a dead end road right now. I can't blame them. But I think for the good of the public, it needs to be opened. Any questions?
Is it possible, and I was thinking about this today, is it possible, and this is just as an idea, I know a lot of times when I come across the bridge, if I'm headed to Johnstown, coming north across the bridge in Fonda, and I have my GPS plugged in, it'll take me that way. And I know
It's the
better,
quickest way to
I know
Johnstown.
better than to go that way, so I go up 38, but is there a way to have, to contact Google or some way to have that not marked as the main route? I don't know, it was just an idea, because I know a lot of these truck drivers use Google and they're not supposed to,
Yeah.
and, it takes them that way, and so, I don't know, it was just.
Well, it takes them on Switzer Hill too. I mean, I've come in the winter time, I saw a tractor trailer, the bar in the back there, his wheels were off the ground and the bar was sitting on the road. He tried to climb that hill in the winter. And, I guess there's a certain amount of common sense you have to use if you're driving a truck. Stay on the main dirt, or main, state roads is the best advice. But, yeah, I suppose, there must be a way to change that.
I would think there'd be some mechanism to contact them to see if maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It was just a thought that I had today, because I know a lot of times I'm like, why does it take me that way? And it's a rural back road. It shouldn't be the main way to get to Johnstown, even though it's probably shorter.
There's a lot of blind hills. There was an accident, somebody turned around and got T-boned a few years ago, and they died. I mean, it's not a good road for the huge amount of traffic that we put on it, so.
Eric, do you have a total cost for the replacement on that?
4.3 million.
4.3?
Any other questions?
If I could just make a comment, I know that Bob had a meeting and a lot of residents came, unfortunately I wasn't able to be at that meeting. To Bill's point, the people that are living there now have a dead end where they live, they love it. But overwhelmingly, what I am hearing is people that want it open. They just want it open overwhelmingly.
I mean, abandoning roads, I've done, one road I abandoned because there was one house at the end of it. I asked the guy, I'll turn the road back to you, and he said, sure, you got it. It's one less we gotta plow. And there's a lot of roads over the county that are dead-end roads that became county roads that had one house at the end that are a mile long, whatever it is. There was a farmer, the milk truck had to get down there, and that's how it became a town road, so. But, Florida, some of the roads in Florida are unbelievable how narrow some of them are that are county roads.
Well, they used
Used to be. Well,
I just, if I may interject, I just want to say this, just keep in mind as you think of this resolution, you will have to bond for the remainder of the money. It over exceeds the threshold authorized by CHIPS for a single project. You could pave it, when it's done, you could use CHIPS money to pave it and to pay for some of the culverts. That's all you'll be able to utilize CHIPS money for. So you would have to bond. And the other side of this resolution is DOT's waiting for these contracts, to come back that we are implementing the project, otherwise they're going to cancel. So they didn't give me a date when they're going to cancel it by, but they want to get these things, I think you got one too.
I got one too, yeah,
We got one
we
too.
signed it and we're
Yeah.
doing a project in our town for.
So these, like I said, there also is a time restraint on these, that they give you an authorized amount of time to get them signed back to them so that they can send the contract documents out, so it is a lot to consider, the extra money you gotta put up, but it will have to be made part of the, I would say, capital project plan. But you would be in design phase for all of 2025 anyways.
It's a long process with these grants, because I applied for one, and it's just, it's gonna be engineering in the beginning, and then, you go through it all the time, so.
Yeah.
Eric, excuse me, you said the total project cost would be 4.3?
Right now, we're sitting at about 4.3 million.
All right, less than $1.5 million. Now, how much of the culverts and paving would make up the $3 million difference roughly?
Couple $100,000, you'd be able to use that CHIPS,
That's about it.
roughly,
So we're looking at bonding $3 million.
0.8. Somewhere, put
No,
up the
no, I'm
truck
just
yet.
ballpark, yeah, okay.
And that's today's price. You will not be under construction under a Bridge New York project once contracts go in place for a minimum of 2 years. So you're looking at construction in 2027, at the earliest.
And when would we have to alter the capital plan to add that?
In 25, so if you accepted this tonight, you're basically just telling DOT, we're accepting the project, you're gonna put up the remainder of the money, you'd have to adopt it in the 2025 capital plan and put it in the 2026 capital project plan budget to reduce another project.
But we could do it in segments, right? We don't have to put the whole load into 2026, do we?
It's probably, my estimation is probably a 10 to 13 month project. Probably, maybe on the lighter side, 10 month. So
Sure.
that's,
If you are gonna sign contracts for this, you are gonna have to have the funding in place.
You have to bond
Yeah,
for it.
no, I know that, yeah,
So then,
but the contracts wouldn't come until it goes out to bid.
yeah.
so when would we have, are we looking at 2025 that those funds would have to be in place?
On the engineering.
For engineering, and the engineering fees were 100 and, I wanna say it was in the neighborhood of 200,000. I don't have their,
So in the miscellaneous of the capital plan, do we have to amend the capital plan to add this?
I don't think you'd have to amend it in 25. I think you could just put after the engineer gives you the estimate in 25, you could then include it in the 2026 capital plan. Because it won't go up to bid until 2026. By the time you get DOT approvals, design. Same as a bridge, it takes us 2 years to get a bridge awarded.
Bill, I think on one of the homeowners that was toward the dead end, their biggest concern was they have kind of a blind driveway with what's going on. Is there any change that can be made down at that end, you think?
Where is the house located?
As you go down, I think it's the last house on the left going down.
There's hardly any traffic down there. You mean?
No, once it-
Oh, I see.
once it
I
goes-
haven't seen the plan for the new road, but
I think that
let's face it,
was,
Switzer Hill was never a good road.
yeah.
It was a nightmare. Let's hope if we do this, that it's better.
I think that was that person's biggest concern, was it was tough to get in and out of the driveway with traffic coming.
I would imagine, yeah, there is some rerouting of the road, that's what I heard. That's what,
Well, it's not rerouting,
Well,
but we're
it
kind
should
of
be.
realigning the S-curve up through there,
Yeah,
but that's also, you've got property easements and, you've got neighbors to work with up through there that's a whole nother battle, We've only got so much right of way to work within.
well, there is eminent domain. That's what they do with the
You
windows.
said that, not
or
me.
the-
I'm not touching that one.
In Palatine, they put that solar farm there. They didn't have three-phase power there, was that the deal? And then they had to legislate a right-of-way through people's land?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's not nice, but an eminent domain, the public needs access to their property.
Thank you, Bill, for
Yep.
coming.
Okay, any other further discussion on item 2? All those in favor, move to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstains? So moved. Next resolution, a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget year-end salary account shortages. I'll sponsor it.
A second.
And Chad, second that. All those in favor of moving it to a full board, say aye. Oh, we got a discussion.
Eric, I just want to ask you, the financial impact line says fund balance will be restored at fiscal year end by unused portions of budgeted appropriations. Do you feel you'll have that to move and offset that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I could have put it in this resolution, but it'd been 4 pages long for things that we're turning back over.
All right. I mean,
Between
because-
highways and You know, like I said, under the highway line, we had one employee spot that was not filled, we used all that. I went through every biggest line I could to give you what I could, but I mean, if I take, you know, 40,000 off of phone that might be left, and 10,000 off of oil, and natural gas, and diesel, and everything else that's coming back, you know, you're definitely.
You're confident that'll be offset?
Yep.
Because tonight we're having a sale on fund balance, you know,
I've
with
seen
the
that.
resolution, you know, so.
Seen that legislature.
Any further discussion? Sure,
That-
Kelly.
That'll cover us through the rest of the year.
Yes.
Eric, how did this happen? You have any idea?
So when I put my budget in last year, highways is basically all under overtime throughout the winter, throughout the summer, that we couldn't use chips for. And the other portion of the highways is when you reduced the MEO ones last year, you took some MEO ones out of the budget. And let's see. That should have resulted in $141,222 that was removed. Actually, what was removed was $169,222. So somebody grabbed another 40-some thousand somewhere because that was, what you guys adopted was $617,380 and I went in at $786. So when you reduced the MEO ones, you took even more than should have been taken. So that, like I said, we provided those numbers to the county executive. Under buildings and grounds, I went in at my original budget went in $823,214. I also had a line in there for a company to mow the bike path. I was requested to do it in-house, do away with that contract. I requested 2 more full-time employees, which I was granted to do it in-house, plus another cleaner to take care of the Venter Road project, which would have put our salary at $990,202. You folks reduced it to $782,000. So you give me more employees and you even reduced it further than what I asked. So that's how we got to where we're at, legislator Headlaw.
Legislator Kelly.
The executive first reduced it, and we reduced it further. Payroll,
Yes.
what is going to be the other offset for the FICA and everything else?
I haven't seen this resolution.
Because there's going to be additional above the 147.
I can take a look at that tonight, or tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
if you could just
get
get
that
that,
information.
yeah. Because we'll have to adjust that on
Mhm.
those things also.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of moving to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Next, resolution 4, resolution authorizing the implementation of funding costs for replacement of the Rappa Road Bridge. And there's the bin number 3309870, Public Works.
I'll sponsor.
Mr. Like Pat? Who else?
Kirby.
Say aye. All those in favor of moving it to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
You got
Opposed?
discussion for
You
that?
get discussion.
We got discussion, Dan.
Anybody opposed? You're opposed?
No
No, I-
discussion.
Oh, you got a discussion.
Will this cover the complete project?
No, it's 5% match through Bridge New York.
But there aren't any other ancillary costs other than the 5%?
At this time, no, this construction cost completely doubled from what the engineer's estimate was when we put it together, but we've been pretty spot on, and we've always, the past 5 Bridge New York projects we've done have all come in our budget, so.
And the turnaround on this after we get the contracts in place?
It'll be like, this one will be construction 2027 as well.
All set. All in favor of moving it to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Item 5, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign an agreement with KB Group of New York City Incorporated, DBA Prime AE Group of New York Engineer Administration, coordination of services and site inspection, remediation of contaminated soil. Legislator Sweet?
I'll second.
Chairman Sweet?
I'll second.
And who else? Maria. All those in favor of moving to the full board, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Item 6, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign an agreement for the control of snow and public works. Legislator Pep, Chairman Sweet.
Discussion?
Discussion. Legislator Kelly.
This is the 3 and the 3.5.
Yes.
That's all you got? Okay. All those in favor of moving to the full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Item 7. Okay, resolution authorizing the county exec to execute change orders number 1 for the Stilsing electrical contractor for the replacement of the main plant generator at the Montgomery County Sanitary District number 1. I have a sponsor. Legislator Kelly and Allen. All those in favor of move to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a typo in this?
Do you have a discussion?
Yeah. $694 should be $6,940.
I don't change figures.
That's it?
You'd have to ask.
Any other discussion?
Whereas,
Hold on. We can get that.
okay,
For next week.
okay.
You all set?
Yep.
All those in favor of move to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
So moved. Anything other discussion? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee meeting to order at 6:22. Is there any discussion? No? Moving along, first resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for the sheriff. Need a sponsor?
I'll
Legislator
second.
Pep, Legislator Kowalczyk. Any discussion? Legislator Kelly?
Can we also get the adjustments on the table for that?
Sorry for
The moving to corrections part-time.
Not in this one.
Going from, probably accounted for where it originally sat, right, or no?
I'm sorry, we're increasing appropriations.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Moved to the full board. Second resolution authorizing the hourly rate increase for part-time deputies and correction officers by the sheriff. Need a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Wilson,
I'll second.
Legislator Kowalczyk. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for the assigned council. Need a sponsor? Legislator Wilson? Anyone else? Legislator Kowalczyk? All those in favor?
Wait,
Or discussion, I'm sorry.
Discussion.
who's in the audience can talk about this? Is it you, Megan, or Sean? Big hit to fund balance, obviously. This is something that's just mandated, right? And we gotta do it?
Yes, it is. Part of the shortage is, the 2024 budget was caught when it was adopted. They originally asked for, I believe, around 300, and I was cut down to, I believe, 180.
Okay, that backstory helps a little.
And another thing is if you recall a while ago, the rate for the 18B attorneys would increase from
$65.
$65
Yeah.
to $158.
Yes, yeah, it's in the resolution. So is this retro or what?
No. This,
I mean, so this is for the rest of the year? This is how much we need?
this, it's gonna be close to making with this transfer.
When did the rate go from 60 to $1.58?
I believe that it was towards the end of last year.
Oh, okay, so it's been in force the whole year?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Final resolution authorizing the county executive to sign the New York State Defenders Association Case Management System Software Maintenance Agreement Extension. Sponsor Legislator Pep, Legislator Kelly. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Anything under other? No? Make a motion to adjourn, Legislator Kelly,
Second.
and seconded by Legislator Kowalczyk.
I'd like to call to order the Health and Human Services Committee. It is 6:26 PM. First on the agenda is discussion. Hearing none, we'll move in. Okay.
So good evening. As per resolution number 258 of 2024, I am now demanded to appear in front of the legislator to review the use of the opioid funds in the amount of $34,836.68 that we accepted from the Attorney General's office. We've had conversations with Catholic Charities and the Commissioner of Social Services, and collaboratively we are working on utilizing these funds to offset the cost of emergency housing for those that are underhoused as a result of substance use, recent release from incarceration, or a situation where they are needing to leave a current housing situation due to domestic violence, either with or without substance use involved. The emergency housing program via Catholic Charities provides shelter, and it provides support services for those seeking treatment, employment, permanent housing, transportation to services, and recovery programs. It also allows for those seeking substance abuse treatment to engage in an approved New York State OASIS program. Funds from the AG settlement dollars were used last year in the amount of $40,000. This year it took a cut to provide the same services, and the number of residents that utilized the emergency housing last year was at capacity daily, with 12 individuals being served daily. We know that the cost of hotel stays and emergency needs for this population is on the rise. I'm sure Commissioner Beck will speak to that in a moment. But in turn, the onus would fall to DSS should you all decide not to use these funds or approve this money going forward. And I just want to remind you that in my presentation back in August, where I gave you a full budget and every single domain and dollar that was coming in and going out, these 6 domains are treatment, prevention, public awareness, harm reduction, recovery, and transportation. So this initiative, working with the Commissioner and Social Services, clearly falls into several of those categories. So at this time, I'll answer any questions. Just so you all are aware, I am on vacation next week, so if you have questions, I won't be here, but my Director of Finance will certainly be here to answer questions for you. So if there are no questions, I will make that assumption that I am allowed to use these funds with the Commissioner and your all approval to support Catholic Charities. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Now into the plethora of resolutions. First is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Catholic Charities for the operation of the warming station for social services. Legislator Kelly and seconded by Legislator Majewski. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an IPH for Code Blue services at Danielle's house, again for social services.
I'll sponsor.
Sponsored Legislator Pep and second Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. I'm stuck here. Next is a resolution for Together for Youth, Stepping Stones Agreement, again for social services. I need a sponsor. Legislator Wilson and Legislator Pep. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution for Together for Youth, Enhanced Stepping Stones Program Agreement for Social Services. Sponsor, Legislator Majewski, and seconded by Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? Legislator Kelly.
These are built into the budget, correct? Correct.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for mental health. You need a sponsor, Legislator Pep, and seconded by Legislator Kelly. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for youth, veterans, and male. I have a sponsor, please. Chairman Sweet and Legislator Majewski. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That too will move on. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreements for services provided for use in 2025 for social services. Sponsor is Legislator Pep and second is Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Second. Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement, 2025 transportation for Fulton County veterans, youth and veteran services. Sponsor will be Legislator Allen and seconded by Chairman Sweet. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign a contract with Vector Solutions for personnel. Sponsored by Legislator Pep and seconded by Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions or opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that moves on. Next, we have a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, Capital Projects 1, Benner Road, Health and Human Services for social services. I have a sponsor. Legislator Pep, and second will be Legislator Majewski. Discussion. I spoke with Matt today, and I know that Eric is here, so maybe they can give us an update on this.
Mr. Reed, you want to go first?
Huh?
You want to go first?
It's your building.
So I think this is just uncovered costs that we didn't, in the resolution that Eric referred to earlier, it had some language in there about uncovered, what we may not have covered in cost. So this is just a part of, as we're in the process, things that we know we need. Commissioner Reed reached out to me, asked if DSS could come up with some money. We were able to come up with some money. You'll see it comes out of raise the age. This was the easiest, quickest way for us to do it. It doesn't mean that we don't need that money. We are going to transfer some from our T56 account. Sean, am I using the right language there? Yeah, we're taking it out of the trust account and replacing it back. But this was the easiest, quickest way to get this done so that we're not delaying the project at one better. So, I don't know if you have specific questions on what the costs were. I think that's what Commissioner Mead can kind of cover. But, I know we worked pretty hard together real quickly to try to get this money and save the county some dollars with DSS funds.
Legislator Kelly?
So the $650,000, is there a contractor that we're change ordering or?
Zero. When we went out to bid Whitford, when we did the capital project plan, we put $3.5 million over the course of 2 years into the project. When the bids came in, they came in roughly in the neighborhood of 4.2 for the whole project, for the contracts that were bid, that were RFP. The resolution went up, everything was approved by resolution, so now there's not enough money in the capital project line to cover the contract, so we need to cover the current contract. Also, in this resolution, we did not include data cabling for telephone, computers, was not included.
You mean originally, and that's what's being
Correct.
covered here?
Right, fire alarm was all considered to do after the project went out to bid, by our vendor. What's
I
that?
didn't cover some furniture either, correct?
Didn't cover any of the furniture, because, we did not know what he's going to need, what he's going to move, none of that is ever included in the bid.
This is for phase 2?
Yes. So none of these are for change orders, they're all for current.
What's our all-in number if we do this on that building?
You're roughly around 4.2
For phase 2.
for phase 2. The The parking lot, I put 65,000 in for the parking lot. When we're done, it's on that page.
4.2 for phase two?
What's that?
It was 4.2 for phase two? Or for the whole thing?
Oh, for the whole thing, you're going to be, what, 6? A little
Okay.
over 6.
Okay.
What's the 895 by?
I think in that little over 6 million, I believe I had that 800,000 purchase price in there. I think we're shy of 7 million altogether. Where if you were to buy land and build that new, you'd be double that.
No,
You're still-
I understand, yeah.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. That concludes my resolutions. Anything under other? Okay. Hearing none, I need a motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Wilson. It is 6:36.
Okay, I'll call the Personnel Committee to order. Anything under discussion? Hearing none, the first resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with MVP for health insurance. Sponsor,
I'll sponsor.
Pep and Wilson. Discussion? All in favor of moving it to full board?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Next resolution authorizing the county executive to sign a renewal agreement with Anthem for Medicare Advantage Plan. Sponsor? Sponsor?
I'll
Chad
sponsor.
and Maria? Discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next resolution authorizing an agreement to utilize Electra Health Solutions LLC as an additional international pharmacy provider. The sponsor is Pep and
I'll
Chad.
Okay, yeah.
All, discussion? All in favor to move it full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. The last resolution authorizing the county exec to sign a renewal agreement, Labor Relations Services, Romer Wallens, Gold and Minot, LLP.
I'll sponsor.
Sponsor, Wilson, second. Okay. Alan, any discussion? All in favor to move it to full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And other.
It looked like it was on the last committee, but I didn't see it, discussed.
Vector?
Oh, it went through?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah.
Anything else? A motion to adjourn? Kelly,
Second.
Maria?
All right, I'd like to call the Education and Government Committee meeting to order at 6:38. Remind it's a committee of the whole. Any items for discussion? Hearing none, we'll move into the resolutions. First resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement Office for the Aging. I'll sponsor it.
I'll
It's
second.
already in the budget, just a formality. Second from Maria. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Moves to next week. Next resolution, very similar, authorizing county executive to sign agreement Cornell Cooperative Extension, already in the budget at 91.9. I'll sponsor it. Do I have a second? Herb? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, moves to next week. Next resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement Soil and Water Conservation District.
A sponsor?
Legislator Headwell and Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right. Our final resolution is a resolution amending rules of procedure of the Montgomery County Legislature for year 2024. I'll sponsor it. Do we have a second? Chairman Sweet. As a matter of discussion, I'll open it up. When I saw this, I went to Megan as a source, as we're, advised to do. what's the meaning behind all this? And, because it didn't look like it was asking for any specifics. And she indicated to me, and I've since talked with Chairman Sweet, that, you know, it was to get it on the table to start talking about a couple of things. One of which was in mind when this happened, language regarding the automatic rescheduling of canceled or postponed meetings, trying to find some language to put in there as to how to schedule it. Now, I know we're not looking to arrive at that language tonight, correct?
Up to you guys. If everyone wants to, we can move it forward, or we can keep it, you know, we can keep it in discussion at committee. And, I mean, you do have, another option you could do is, we could have discussion this month, next month, and then formally, just in January, when you adopt your rules of procedure, you could just adopt revisions as we've discussed and revised. Or we can move forward tonight if it's nothing major that you guys want to do. Up to you guys. I know it had gotten brought up in September, and October was a little wild with our budget, so wanted to move this to November to wait so we could have an actual discussion on it.
I mean, I think that this one postulate has been a desire of ours all, you know, for many years, right, Brian? Try and get some language in there, just finding the right language.
Right.
That makes us be able to post the next meeting in enough time for the public to see it before we can hold it and all that, all those logistics. So, you know, I don't know where we want to go with this.
So a couple of things that the chairman and I had discussed as options were, I mean, there's a difference, I guess, with committee and full board, what you guys would want to do if there's a snowstorm and you guys have to cancel for whatever reason. A couple of options for the committee would be to potentially hold it on a Friday night. That can be difficult to get attendance to, and I wasn't gonna write that in there without you guys telling me to. Or sometimes, I mean, historically what we've done is if it's on committee, it goes to full board, you just kind of hold committee simultaneously with full board. That could be one option. Or another option could be, or regarding the full board meetings, you could reschedule like perhaps the following week and have that be an automatic, and then it gives everyone, you know, everyone comes back the next Tuesday. That's really what you guys want to do. So.
I don't know, I would be in favor of having committee and full board on the same night. That's,
A lot.
yeah, well, first.
Plus,
off,
you
would
need
have-
time in between.
Yeah, you have no time to consider resolutions, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it something that we could just set it for the next Wednesday, and if it's not Wednesday, Thursday, depending on if, you know, let's say we have a nor'easter where we're snowed in for 2 or 3 days.
I mean,
Is there language that we could put in so that it's notifying the public that our meeting was canceled on Tuesday? Okay, bad weather on Wednesday. It's good weather on Thursday, let's do a Thursday. So could we have that there so that it just kind of rolls over to the next available day that's,
That would go with 48-hour notice of the special meeting?
well, if it's in our rules of procedure.
It isn't in the special meeting. It's a 48-hour notice.
yeah, I think Wednesday is cutting it a little close for the notification provisions, but Thursday, I think, you could possibly do that if that's what you guys want.
2 days later, in the same week.
For a committee, so if the Tuesday meeting got canceled, it would go to the Thursday. So that's what you're saying?
Well, could you in the notification for the committee meeting, already have that baked into language, saying that committee meeting is Tuesday night? In just a boilerplate, if it's canceled, it's Wednesday. Some way to put that language in there that.
Weather permitting,
Right.
you know, something like that. It'd be the
So
next day,
it's
committee.
So the notification's already there, so we're not trying to make the notification to the public. It's already,
I think you would still have to notify the press at least that, because how are they gonna know otherwise that your meeting is canceled?
well, they're gonna know it's gonna back on, how are they gonna know it's on Thursday then?
Oh, I think we would notify the press, like if it was a special meeting, but it would just be automatic. Everyone knows to come on Thursday, the press gets the notification, and there's no question.
Yeah, I'm good with.
I'm good
2
with that.
days.
That sounds good for committee. Now, what about the real McCoy? We need a couple of days.
For the full board,
Mm-hmm.
do you guys wanna do the following week, or do you wanna do the same a Thursday?
So if we're gonna do the following week for the actual meeting, why wouldn't we, if the committee's canceled, move it to the following Tuesday? And if the committee is changed, then the monthly meeting would be changed.
I mean, that's another great option. That
Depending
certainly
on-
would give notice.
Depending on the weeks of the month.
It isn't,
It would be the,
it wouldn't make any difference, I mean, so we have it the first Tuesday of the month. Doesn't care, I just think if a committee meeting is canceled, then we just move everything 1 week. So we stay with the Tuesday, and we publicize that, that's what we're gonna do.
Well, like in August of this year, the meeting was on the 3rd and 4th, and there is no 5th Tuesday. So it would have to roll over into the next month.
the next,
Month.
Right, it's the next
but
month.
it would be the next available Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't matter that we're having our committee, or our full board meeting for August and September?
We're talking about something that probably was gonna
Hopefully.
happen maybe once or twice
Right.
a year at the most, but we're trying to just be proactive and come up with a,
Yeah.
Is everybody good with Martin's suggestion?
Yeah. That way it's easier.
Anybody got a
to
problem with
notify-
that, on that one?
Easier to notify the press that way.
Yeah, easier, yeah.
So I'll draft that up, and circulate that to everybody, but I'll put the language in that, in the event of a cancellation, of committee, the meeting shall be held on the following committee or full board, the meeting will be held on the following Tuesday.
Okay.
And, I'll put that language in about shuffling the full board to the following week too. I'll circulate that, and then, you'll have that attached to your, resolution for next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves to next week. And final resolution authorizing county executive sign agreement, Soil and Water Conservation District. Maybe this isn't mine. It's on the back side of, that must be yours. No?
We already did it.
Oh, we did it, okay.
Never mind.
Don't know which end is up here. I'm not used to using paper.
I was gonna say
Okay.
that, but I just made it up.
All right, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Meeting
Call the Budget and Finance Committee.
6:47.
to order. Does anybody have any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move right along. First is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, community college tuition. Is there a sponsor?
That's fine.
Thank you, Chair Sweet and Legislator Machuski. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution authorizing county treasurer to distribute mortgage tax money. Sponsored,
Sponsor.
Legislator Walchuk and Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution correcting the 2024 town and county tax roll, town and county. Sponsored, Legislator Sweet and Pat. Discussion.
Okay, yeah, I just gotta spit out 1 second. So, Mr. Herding has a solar array on his property. He got he got the 2023 school bill with the value of the solar array. He came forward, he said, I have a solar pilot, I don't owe the bill. I contacted Canterbury School, they said there is no pilot, he owes the bill. So we didn't do anything. Well, that bill went unpaid and was re-levied onto the 2024 county. At which point his attorney came forward with this pilot for the school and said, and I said, well, why didn't the school know about the pilot? Well, there was a mix-up there, and they said, yes, now he does have a pilot for school. So this resolution is to remove the school re-levy from the county bill, which Sean will be able to charge back to them. Or, well, they'll, whatever Sean has to do, they'll, so it's a mistake, but I don't know how it would have been prevented, because I talked to the school and they said they didn't have a pilot. and then he just came up with, this pilot that supposedly he signed in 2022, where he gave the school $250,000 and then has a 10-year pilot or a 15-year pilot for $1 a year. So I don't know, but the schools and the towns are famous for not telling anybody about the pilots. And I write him a letter every year saying I need to know about pilots so we can code the bill. And somehow but now he's in court over the whole value, even for the county part of it, the county and town part of the solar. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, if it gets lowered or whatever, but this is just to remove the school rate levy from the town and county bill, which Sean can charge back.
And we've seen the pilot,
Mm-hmm.
we have a copy, or?
You do not have a copy. I saw it and I had asked the attorney to give me a copy so I could forward it to all you, and that he gave me the front page of the pilot at this point. But I did confirm with the school that it's signed and valid, and, I mean, if you wanna wait and I can try to get it. But it is valid. I mean, he paid him. Yeah, I can get you a copy for next week if you wanna. Hopefully I can get a copy. They're very, difficult.
Who's the attorney on it? Or if you wanna email me the attorney's name, I can reach out to
Okay,
him.
yeah,
So
yeah, I'll forward it.
he didn't owe the school district anything.
So he had a pilot with the school district, so he should have been coded to not get a school bill. But even when he got the school bill in September, at that point, we said to him, well, where's your pilot? And he said, I don't have to tell you when, I have to, my attorney will deal with it, whatever. Well, then it got to where it got re-levied. And then, once it was re-levied at the county, they came up with it.
So did we make the school district faithful? Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's a large amount, it's $56,000, because it's a solar array.
And are they good at paying us back?
Sean, yeah. Sean,
They don't pay it, they hold it for next year.
yeah.
They will pay.
But,
One way or another.
I agree, I was very nervous to put the correction in, but Mr. Herding had gone to the treasurer's office and was very irate about it. And, I said to him, what are we correcting? And he said, I have a school, county, and town pilot. I said, you don't have a county pilot, because there are no county pilots on solar. And I contacted the town, and they said they drew one up, and he didn't like he didn't like it, so he wouldn't sign it. So he still, to this day, thinks he has a complete pilot on everything. It
Did this
doesn't have to
project go through before we closed the loophole on the pilots?
That was 2018.
This started in.
You guys, yeah, it was voted to not do county pilots in 2018. And this was all 2019. And this was all in 2022 that he signed this, but he still thinks he has it with everybody, because he's still fighting the county and town bill. He definitely can't fight the county portion, and the town has told me they do not have. But they drew up an agreement with him, he wouldn't sign it. So, there may be more coming on this gentleman. And he's in court over the value of the solar. So that could be a whole, so the best I can do is try to get, maybe Megan can help me get the copy of, and if everything's in place for school, maybe, next week you guys can vote to, I don't know what else to do with it.
Well, we can let Megan discuss it with the attorney.
See if we can get the pilot for the school pilot.
Yeah.
And make sure it's, and then, okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And has it come out of, has he, removed his ag exemption from this parcel?
The assessor has removed his ag exemption from the parcel. For the solar array.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, abstained? Thank you. Next is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement under Info Quick Solutions, Inc., contract for record management system. sponsor, legislator Peck, second by legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution approving abstract of holiday credits. Sponsor, legislator Kowalczyk, second by Majewski. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. And we have one add-on, bond resolution for the county of Montgomery, New York, the county dated November 26, 2024, authorizing renovations of county-owned property at 1 Benner Road, estimating the aggregate cost thereof to be $1.75 million, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of a $1.75 million serial bond of the county to finance said cost. Is there a sponsor? Legislator Peck, second by legislator Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained,
Nay.
carried. Anything under other? If not, look for a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kowalczyk. Adjourn.